My name is Darla, and this is my story. When I was 19 years old, I married a man who quickly became my abuser. Soon after, I had a sweet baby girl, Lindsay. During a time when I was feeling especially conflicted about my marriage, I escaped home on the Amtrak to visit my family and make some decisions about my life. My ride back to Chicago was scheduled to take about 3 hours. When an accident happened on the tracks, the train was stopped for 5 more hours. With a 6-month-old baby in my arms, I was frantic. I hadn't packed a bottle, blanket, or any extra supplies for Lindsay. I thought it would just be a short ride. As I was trying to soothe the crying baby, a meek old woman across the aisle offered to help. This short, plump, curly, white-haired woman took my baby's empty bottle to the cafe car and filled it with milk. She then sang songs and hymns to Lindsay until she fell asleep. She sang for hours. I soon realized that Lindsay was cold. As I began to take one of my shirts off to wrap it around my baby, the white-haired woman stopped the train conductor and asked him for a blanket. There were no extra blankets on board, so the woman pulled a brown and orange blanket out of her one small carry-on bag. I wrapped Lindsay in the blanket and she slept in comfort. During the rest of the ride, the woman filled me with encouragement. While this woman didn't know anything about my story, she had just the right words for me. "You're a wonderful mom," she said. "God has his hands on you and your little girl. Don't give up fighting for your child's life. Don't think a decision that you make is a bad one if it's going to be what's best for the little girl. It's not the end of the world, and it doesn't matter what people think." She quoted scripture to me and gave me a dose of God-inspired hope for my tough life decisions ahead. Eventually, the anonymous woman fell asleep. When the train stopped in Chicago and I was getting ready to exit, I turned to give the woman back her blanket. I noticed that her chair was empty, so I went to the back exit to find her. When she wasn't there, I searched the only other exit. The train was still moving, so there is no way the woman could have exited the train. She had to be there, but she wasn't. Desperate to give the woman her blanket back and thank her for everything, I asked the train conductor if he had seen the woman, pointing to where she had been sitting. "Sitting where?" the conductor asked. No one was sitting there. "No, no," I said. "She's the one who asked you for the blanket." "No one asked me for a blanket," the conductor said, "and we don't allow people to sit in this seat. This is the conductor's seat. I promise you no one was sitting in this seat." So I stopped another train conductor and asked if he had seen the woman who got milk from the cafe car. "Oh, no," the conductor said. "They shut the cafe down when the train stopped. There's no way she got milk." Confused, I got off the train when it stopped to look for the woman, but I never saw her again. Soon after these events, I left my husband and began a new life with my daughter. Lindsay grew up with her angel blanket by her side. She slept with it every night, drug it around the house, and was rocked to sleep with it. Even as an adult, Lindsay took her angel blanket with her. It was always at the foot of her bed, no matter where she was living. At the age of 23, Lindsay's house tragically went up in flames. In the middle of the night, I searched through the rubble for anything that might be salvageable. Lindsay's bedroom was one of the worst. Everything was black and covered in ash. As I opened the closet, I saw a pile on the floor of charred black blankets. Nervously, I took a closer look. Then beneath it all, I spotted an untouched orange and brown blanket. Other than Lindsay's Bible, this was the only thing in the bedroom that was untouched by the fire. I'm not a person who really believes that all this stuff happens to everybody, until it happened to me. There is no doubt in my mind that God sent that woman to me, an angel, to encourage me, to tell me I was a good mom, and to not worry about what other people thought. I know that God sent that woman. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Hebrews 13:2.